Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can cut your artwork out of its background in Photoshop and prepare it for surface pattern design and other digital projects. I've painted this set of elements in watercolor and now I need to cut them all out and place them on their own individual layer. If you don't see your layer panel, you can find it here in the window menu. Make sure it's ticked and it should pop right up. When you import an image into Photoshop, it shows up as a smart object, and in order to edit it, you need to rasterize it first. We can do that by right-clicking on the layer and choosing rasterize. I'm pressing Command J to make a duplicate of the original just in case, and I'll turn it off for now. Next, I'm pressing E on my keyboard to bring up the eraser tool. And I'm just going to get rid of this excess background all around. This is just some washi tape that I was using to secure the page when I was painting. Now I'm going to come to my adjustments panel. Again, if you don't see it, it can be found in the window menu. I'm going to use levels, and this little eyedropper right here tells the software where the brightest part of your artwork is and kind of automatically adjusts the light balance. So you can see the top left corner of the artwork is where the white is almost as white as the background. And this is our goal here. We want to even out the background so the color of the paper is almost as white as that of our background color. Now, as you can see, that's not going to be possible to do on the first go because regardless of how good your scanner is or how even your light is when you're taking a picture, you will always have one corner of your artwork be brighter than the other. And I'll show you what we can do to help that. First of all, we want to move these toggles up and down to see if it helps in any way. We want to stay as true as possible to the original colors without making them too bright or lose any of the detail. And for the moment, I'm focusing on this top leftmost section where I'm quite happy with how even and white the background is already. So I'm going to hold down Shift, select these two layers and press Command E on my keyboard to merge them into one. I'm doing this to keep things nice and neat on my layer panel and so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Next, I'm going to select this polygonal lasso tool and make a selection around the part of the artwork I want to cut out. Once the selection is made, I can right-click on it and choose Layer via Cut, which will separate this section onto its own layer. I'm going to set it aside for now, go back to my main layer, and repeat the process with the adjustment by opening levels and trying to match the white of the background. And you can see in this part, the background is actually matching the white quite well for the most part. So I'm going to go ahead and merge these two layers again and cut it out. So I'm going to continue working this way, adjusting the artwork section by section. And here's a little trick you can use when you have an unevenly lit artwork. As you can see, this part of this branch is in shadow and it's making the colors look much darker. So in adjustments, I'm going to use curves and make it slightly brighter. However, when I do that, the other part of this branch becomes too bright. To even it out, select this little white rectangle in the curves layer and using a soft round eraser, erase the section that is too bright. And you can see how it evens it out really quickly. When we've evened out the shadows and separated all the elements onto their own individual layers, we can finally begin to cut them out of the background. I've added some color to the background so you can see what I'm doing. And the easiest one to start with is this curvy little guy right here. Because the shape is so simple, I'm just going to use the eraser tool to remove the background. I'm going to turn the others off for now and move on to this one. Initially, I wanted to use the object selection tool. This tool has been getting much better with Photoshop's most recent couple of updates. It works really well on highly contrasted, clearly defined images, especially if it's people or objects that are easily identifiable by the software. But in this case, with a slightly more abstract object, such as this one, the software struggled. So I moved on to Quick Selection Tool. Quick Selection Tool lets you be more specific about the pixels you want selected. You can press Q to see exactly what got selected. And here we can use the eraser tool to add or remove from the selection. Switching between colors of your eraser tool lets you either add or take away from your current selection. Black will add to it, white will remove. And I can see this white bit in the middle got selected as well, but I'll take care of that in a minute. Press Q again to come out of the selection viewing mode. Shift Command I will invert your selection. Backspace to remove the background. Command D to deselect. Here we can tidy up any stray bits of pixels that we don't need with an eraser and use a lasso tool to remove this little bit in the middle. Up here we have the different settings for a selection tool. The two little squares together will allow you to continue to add to your selection. So as you can see, there are many tools at our disposal to help remove the background from our art elements. But there's one more I want to show you, and that's Magnetic Lasso Tool. Magnetic Lasso Tool kind of does exactly as advertised. It allows you to draw a line of selection along the edge of your artwork, and the line sort of clings to it as if by a magnet. When you're drawing this line, make sure to close the loop for selection to activate and press backspace to remove it. Press Command D to deselect. And this is pretty much all there is to it. I hope you found at least some of this useful. Let me know in the comments. And like, share, and follow for more. See you next time.